Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the MINI Cooper Convertible, the facelifted model. Now this is to unlock the car, this is to lock the car, and this is to open the boot of the vehicle. There's chrome here, but there's no chrome there because what MINI has done is de-chromed it and started to use a lot of piano black. But first things first, let's open the engine bay, which is as simple as this. Obviously you get hydraulic struts. It says twin power turbo, the MINI engine, and yeah, you know now the way they do the hood of MINI cars is slightly different as well. Okay, there's insulation right there. Let's close this. Now first and foremost, I said they have de-chromed it, but still there's this chrome over there. Now I think when it ain't broke, why fix it? Unfortunately, MINI doesn't believe the same because the front of the pre-facelifted model looks so much better with fog lamps right there and a grille which was not like a moustache. Here it is like a moustache, but MINI believes the grille is now wider. It's sort of a hexagonal shape which gives it aggression and makes the car look wider. Whatever, I don't care because I don't like the design of this one as much as I like the design of the pre-facelift model which had fog lights. And now the fog lights are in the LED headlights itself. All LED lights, they don't need fog lights at the front separately, which was there below. Instead, you got this aerodynamic function which is sort of an air curtain. Meanwhile, the lights are really bright at night. It says MINI inside. I don't think you can see it, neither can I actually. Now this doubles up as the indicator, which is the LED DRL, which you can see on this side, the LED DRL of the vehicle. Lights are nice, okay. This is not functional, it is fake and very unnecessary, but sort of the design treatment. The MINI logo here, S, of course, because it's a sporty variant, and there is chrome here, lower half maybe, but you get piano black finishing. There seems to be an air intake as well. Coming to the side of the car, you realize this is sub 4 meter in length, but doesn't get excise duty benefits because of the size of the engine. And of course, this is a CBU. Should have been a CKD, would have been priced more aggressively. And in spite of the fact that I drove at 40 kilometers per hour to reach here, still the car has got a little dirty from the side. You get this black body cladding as well. The wheels have been changed on the car. The size of the tire 205 45 17s. Alloy wheel design could have been a little better and they could have colored the brake calipers as well. Says S here, indicator along with chrome. Here is a gloss black mirror which actually projects the MINI logo on the floor at night. Meanwhile, this chrome thingy which is running throughout the car is also a very nice touch. The Union flag on the roof, there is the antenna which does not move at all. Chrome door handles, there's a request sensor there. Chrome for the fuel lid as well. Let's open this. Yeah, that's nice actually. But the thing is, this color looks like lime green, but is actually dazzle yellow. I think so. Maybe I must have read it wrong. Anyways, coming to the rear of the car, again, if it ain't broke, I'll fix it. So they have made changes to the bumper, which again seems unnecessary because the older one looked better to me. Twin exhaust, very much functional. That is the fog light. Meanwhile, you get parking sensors along with a reverse parking camera right here and the Union jack in the tail light, which I'm not patriotic for UK, so it's just unnecessary for me. It says MINI inside. You get chrome here as well. Plenty of chrome in spite of the fact they said they have de-chromed it. Cooper S written right there. Gloss black finishing. I mean, they've used gloss black a lot on this car, some of which is actually optional. Now first things first, you're going to open the boot of the vehicle, which is really chintu mintu. Good thing is it can accommodate 80 kg, so you can actually sit here. I am exactly 79.99 kgs, so I can actually sit there as well. What you can do, you can recline the seats 50-50 format, pressing this button. You need to push it. Yeah, there it increases the boot carrying capacity. I'll just push it on both the sides. Oh my goodness, there it goes down. Okay, my seat is so back it won't. Storage space is very limited. It says easy load. Can you guys guess what this is? Yeah, I don't know and I don't care. That is a warning triangle, hygiene kit, sanitizer, all this along with the manual here. So boot is not practical at all, and this is not a practical car at all, unfortunately. You can just see this right now. You can sit here. Hard plastic, of course. Now another good aspect is that, you know what, you will not even attempt to get to the rear seats because it's absolutely difficult. First and foremost, I can just press this to recline this and move it ahead, but there's no space here, absolutely none. And you can see super duper upright. Yeah, you need to push it into place. Not the most easy as such, but the seat is so upright, it's very uncomfortable. ISOSPIX child seat mounts, you get proper seat belts, and there's some storage space here as well, speakers, tweeters, whatnot. But trust me, it is a very bad place to be in, even for kids as such. So I'm just going to push this behind. Now both the front seats are adjustable for height, and you get this new upholstery which is a mix of fabric and leather. Nice bolstering, nice stitching as well, and under support is never an issue because you can increase it. The glove box is decent size. It gets a light in the inside, on the inside rather, and you can lock it as well. But plenty of hard plastics lower down. Again, the gloss black finishing right there. Gloss black finishing is in plenty. But what we should do is first we should open the roof of the car. Now these are run flat tires You know why? Because the car does not get a spare wheel. Yeah, there is no space for a spare wheel. So they've used run flat tires. Finally, I've been able to figure out where it's written run flat. Let's do one thing. Let's open the roof of the vehicle, which is very easy. Okay, don't see what's happening there. Focus on the car, Faisal. Focus on the car. All right. Now, opening the sunroof, rather opening the roof of the car is very easy, because I said sunroof because the first touch actually opens the sunroof. Yeah, this is the sunroof of the vehicle. This is also a nice way of doing a sunroof. It's not glass, but brings in a lot of airy feeling. So I'm just going to get out and show you how this is. There you see, it's a genius having a convertible car with a sunroof. That's the Mini way of doing things. Let's open it completely, which means I should close the door first. Here we go. Keep this button pressed, and there the windows roll down first and the roof goes back. Now it can be operated at a speed of 30 kilometers per hour, and guess what? It takes 18 seconds to do that. Now if I keep this button pressed, it will roll up the windows as well. And you know what? You can just roll up the window by pressing one button only. Yeah, both the windows get rolled up using just one button, the rear button. The front buttons are for independently opening the front windows, and these are the controls for the outside rear view mirror adjustment. This to lock or unlock the vehicle. And let's open the door. The door is actually bigger, but the door pockets are not. Unfortunately, very small and chin to door pockets. Can't fit a bottle in there for sure. Says Mini Cooper S, and now the car looks $1 million with the roof down. Okay, yeah, with the roof down, the car looks like $1 million. That's how it should look because of the soft top. Now it doesn't look that great with the roof up, unfortunately, but with the roof down, I love the design of this car, and that's the only reason, or probably the major reason why you'll be buying this car, is the convertible, because this is one of the cheapest ways to have wind in your hair wala feeling. And my goodness, it looks gorgeous this way. You can see there is no space at the rear. It's even pointless for me to even try to get inside because seat is so freaking upright. It's obnoxiously upright, the seat. Let me push that into place. Yeah, it's not even smooth to operate all these things, which is kind of shocking. Dashboard design looks really nice, but it is very similar to what was there before. Obviously, you get frameless doors. Again, another theater on this car, and this color actually looks particularly impressive to me. Okay, seats are very comfortable at the front. Under thigh support is not an issue. Here is a button to actually open the hood. This is for the OBD, and you get pedals along with a dead pedal. Obviously, you get pedals in this car. This is not autonomous. These are the controls for the headlights, LED lights, which are having automatic headlight function. This is for the rear fog, and this is probably for the headlight leveler. Okay, now there's a lot to like in the interior because the quality levels are fantastic, absolutely fantastic. You get an auto dimming inside rear view mirror. These are the controls for the lights. These are actually for the lights. Yeah, can you see that? Controls for the lights. This is to open the roof of the vehicle. And here you get a mirror. Same is the case here as well. You get a mirror, and you get absolutely unlimited headroom. Oh my goodness. Okay, the sun is right on my face. So you see there are some design changes. This is actually new, some sort of a graphic here. This is optional. It's a 5-inch instrument cluster, which is kind of all digital. Looks really very nice, but I like the old one for sure. Now the steering wheel is adjustable both for reach. When you actually pull it towards you or push it away from you, this thing does not move, but when you move it up and down, it actually moves. So that's not the best thing, because what happens is I can't clearly see this. I would like the old cluster back. Thank you so much, and not pay for the optional kit. Dashboard design is very, very sporty. You get these turbine style AC vents as well, which are really very cool as well. The steering wheel is also new. I mean, it's largely the same as before in terms of the design. However, audio control buttons are actually new. These are for the audio system. This is to pick up a call or decline a call probably, and this is for the voice commands. Now here on the left side you have buttons for the cruise control, and it gets paddle shifters as well. And listen to the horn. Yeah, the horn is actually nice, not bad at all. There is an armrest in the center below which there's storage space, and there's a wireless charger as well. And this wireless charger is actually part of optional kit. In fact, you can get front parking sensors, you can get a heads-up display, which is missing on this car. You can get a lot of kit, including adaptive dampers, all of which are optional. Thankfully though, a reverse parking camera seems to be a standard equipment here. So there's the camera, really nice quality of the camera. It gets guidelines which are adaptive. It's got parking sensors, which you can see here. And then there's also a feature of self-park, which again is part of optional kit. These are the controls for the air conditioning. Now it gets a dual zone climate control air conditioning. Again, buttons for the air conditioning, and there are aircraft style toggle buttons. Now this is to turn on and off the stop start system. This is to turn on and off the engine, of course. This is for traction control, and this is for the drive mode. There are two USB charging sockets here. One is obviously a regular USB, and the other is a USB-C, and there is a cigarette lighter here. Twin cup holders, there's storage space here as well, and these are the controls for this infotainment system. For the infotainment system. Now these are the regular iDrive controls as such. you can actually push this back or forth, and there's a proper manual handbrake, which I'm not used till now, but an electric handbrake can also be opted for. Now, the good thing is that the design of the car is really very nice. This is an 8.8 inch screen, very nice to use, very slick as well. Now, this color actually changes, so I'm just going to change that color right now. You get into sport mode, then I think the color changes. Yeah, so it's kind of slow in that regard, and the colors could have been better. It doesn't have Mercedes style 64 colors. However, it has got plenty of colors. Apparently, I cannot find any of them. So when you actually unlock the car, it flashes some colors here and there, and then in the brochure, I read that it has got some sport and lounge color options, which are 6 and 6, 12 colors, but none of that I can find. I'll just get into the menu right away and show you. It says remote control not present or what. It's in my pocket, dear. Okay, please try to sense it. Now, this is actually a very slick system, very nice, very fast as well. I love the colors on the navigation. You can see navigation is pretty darn awesome. Really love it. So yeah, they've done a great job on the navigation front. I'll just browse through quickly to show you what all is there. Notification, My Mini, which gives you data, media, radio, Mini connector. Okay, we're going to listen to radio right away, just so that you can hear the quality of the radio. We're going to get into FM, and here we go. Audio quality is actually quite decent. It uses Harman Kardon speakers, of course, but you know what, this is a touchscreen as well, which is again very slick to use, and there's Mini connected and stuff like that. What I want to go is into My Mini, because there's some stuff which I would like to show you. There's driving information on board, computer, trip computer, the usual stuff which you see, but some graphics are really nice here. I really like it. Okay, because I want to show you this technology in action, which has something known as minimalism. Here you see, okay, that's really funky. I don't know which beach is this car driving on, because it's front wheel drive, and I don't know how someone is sailing right next to it. Vehicle is ready to drive. That's quite cool. I thought vehicle is not ready to drive. I'm just sitting here waiting for the permission to drive this car. So all the usual bits which you've seen in BMW cars since long. So there's nothing fancy as such. However, I should definitely get into vehicle settings and tell you I'm not lying about the ambient light colors, because ambient lighting, there is no color option. Boss, where is the color option, and why can I not find it? It might be there somewhere, but it's just complex enough for me to find, or even put an effort to find it. So I'm not going to care about it. This is the hazard light button. Thankfully, they are manual. Okay, these are touch sort of buttons. However, there is a manual button for the volume, which is very critical for me personally speaking. These are the controls for the wipers. The wipers work really well. See, plenty of spray on offer, some of which is already on my face by now because the roof is obviously open. It's stupid of me to use the wipers right now. And these are the controls for the lights. Now, there's a BC button here to browse through a lot of information below. You can see I can change it. Saying 7.4 kilometers per liter. Okay, fuel cost is really high. Please don't drink so much fuel. I request you, car. And you've got a tachometer here, you've got the fuel meter. Fuel meter is big because they realize the fuel costs have gone so high that you need a proper fuel meter as well. And then when you increase the speed, now this also moves, so to show you how much you have been using the capability of the car as such. So as I see it, car is really very nice and sporty, however, not practical at all. But how is it to drive? Well, let's start driving right away. Alright, we are all set to go, which means turning off the air conditioning, getting it into sport mode straight away. Gearbox into drive, gearbox into sport as well. We're going to turn off the traction control, which means I have to keep it pressed. Once is traction control sport and keeping it pressed, DSC deactivated completely. Now we're going to get into the menu quickly because I want to, okay, anyways, when you get into sport mode, it gives me the option to go into sport displays. Here we are into sport displays as well. Hazard light off, left foot on the brake, revving the motor, rev still almost 2000 RPM. Listen to this, okay? Have you ever heard so much wheel spin? And my god, the vibrations are so much, the camera is moving all over the place. We'll have to stop and recalibrate. And off we go. Crazy amount of wheel spin on offer. I had to change the position of the camera. Some of the windows vibrating way too much. I didn't anticipate that. Anyways, this is a 2-liter turbocharged petrol engine which also powers the BMW 2 Series, and this is an absolute fantastic motor, really very sweet, really very refined, supremely refined actually, and has a lot of punch, a lot of oomph. Get on the throttle, see the response is immediate throughout the rev range. Sounds quite sporty as well. Okay, the gear shifts are really very quick too, so it produces 192 horsepower, which comes in between 5000 to 6000 RPM, and the torque output is 280 Newton meters, which comes in at a low 1250 RPM and stays there till 4600 RPM, and the result is this absolutely lip-smacking performance. It really pushes ahead. There's no flat spot. It has a good low end, so low end performance is nice, drivability is very good, very tractable motor, mid-range is strong, and the top end is also stupendous. This motor has grunt in every possible RPM. That's how good it is. It shows till 320 Newton meters on the sport display, but it doesn't go till there. That's for the John Cooper works. However, it says up to 200 horsepower. but the John Cooper Works makes more than 200 horsepower, so there is a little glitch in this. And what is a bigger glitch is this instrument cluster, because when you have the roof down, you can't see a thing on it. Very badly designed. They didn't put the roof down and designed it for sure. Performance is really very nice. Brake performance, absolutely stunning, like super duper awesome. Very sharp brakes, and the steering is fabulous. Okay, it kind of makes a lot of screeching sounds. However, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, driving the motor. Listen to this. That's 0 to 100 kilometers per hour dispatched in 7.1 seconds, making it decently quick. But the steering wheel is obnoxiously feelsome. I mean, the steering offers great feel and feedback. It says activate cruise control. I didn't want to activate any sort of cruise control. So performance is lip smacking awesome, but I do miss the John Cooper Works, because the John Cooper Works not only is faster, it's also so much better in terms of the way it sounds. And talking about that, there are 3 drive modes on offer. Right now I'm in sport. There is green, which is basically eco mode, and there is mid, which is a balance of sport as well as eco. Now, what does it do? It changes 4 parameters: the engine, the transmission, the steering, as well as the sound. You can't actually make changes to individual parameters. However, I'll tell you what exactly happens. For the engine and the transmission, there are 3 different modes. One is eco, the other is normal, and there is sport. And for the steering as well as the sound, there are 2 modes, which is normal and sport. Now in sport, all the 4 parameters are in sport. In normal, rather in mid, all the 4 parameters are in normal. And in eco, rather in green, the engine and the transmission are in eco. Meanwhile, the steering as well as the sound is normal. Yeah, confusing enough? Well, not really. Now it does sound nice, but it's not very loud as such, and doesn't pop or crack or any of that sort, which the John Cooper work definitely does. I love the way it performs. It's absolutely fantastic. The smoothness, the refinement, the even the city performance. In eco mode, obviously it tries to conserve as much fuel as possible, and it does it by obviously not giving you enough oomph. So power delivery is a little bit easygoing. But you know what? The steering feels better in normal mode somehow, not so much in sport, because in sport it kind of feels artificially weighed up. Unnecessary added weight to the steering wheel, which is good for the track, but for regular driving, you're like, I'm muscling around. Now, does it have the go-kart feel? Obviously it does. Body roll almost non-existent. Really very sharp, really very precise. Steering wheel weighs up beautifully well, so it's got a good amount of, handling. Amazing handling. Okay, fantastic steering, great body control. Obviously the track is wide, the wheels are on extreme corner, and this does give you the go-kart feel. I mean, you want to make a quick overtake there, rather quick turn, absolutely responds. Some of the tires are not able to keep up with the oomph of this car. The car has just so much grunt. The big problem is though, the ground clearance is kind of sucky. There's some flap which is below the front bumper, which is just too obtrusive. Kind of touches on many places or many speed breakers. You have to be really very careful, and this is the worst speed breaker on earth. You have to be really very careful when I go. It's not going to touch here for sure, but the car is going to get bouncy because this suspension is really very stiff. It's supremely stiffer suspension. I don't know for what reason. And then you can't see much of what's behind, especially with the roof down, because the roof takes a lot of space and you don't have a reference point as such. So not really the best visibility from this vehicle. Now, in terms of performance, I have nothing to complain about, because I think the engine is fantabulous. So is the gearbox. Very fast shifting 7-speed unit, 7-speed dual clutch unit, by the way. Kind of a little hesitant with downshift, so very fast with upshift. And then of course you have multiple modes for the gearbox as well. You can get into regular drive, you can get into sport, you can get into manual as well. And then you have got steering mounted paddles too, if you so wish, of changing your own gears. And then heavy braking, I don't know why it actually makes a lot of screeching sound on heavy braking, so you have to be really careful when applying heavy brakes, because then it kind of freaks everybody out. See, it holds on to a gear at the red line, which is 6,500 RPM, so it gives you complete manual control of things. And here we're going to stop, we're going to launch it. It's going to wheel spin like crazy now. Listen to this, okay? I have to manually shift gears because we are in manual mode right now. I think the gearbox does a better job in shifting gears because it is so freaking fast. Yeah, it is really an awesome gearbox as such, but the price is very disappointing because it comes by the CBU route. So the cost of this car is it is around 56 lakh rupees on road Mumbai, which is extremely expensive for what it has to offer, considering a lot of kit is optional. For this price, I want adaptive dampers as standard. It's not standard at all. You have to pay extra for it, and like in typical Mini fashion, this car can be personalized like crazy. You can add whatever options you want, but then you end up shelling out a lot more money as well. The ride quality is absolutely obnoxiously poor. Okay, it does a decent job on good roads, of course, but still there's that stiffness which you can feel on bad roads. Oh my god, it completely rattles you. So yeah, they could have done a much better job in terms of suspension tuning, but then this car is all about fun, driving fun and driving feel, not about practicality. That's the reason nobody can really sit at the rear other than Jadoo. And when you're driving this car, you realize there's this constant movement which is happening because of the suspension being obnoxiously stiff. This is not a car you can drive daily, even though it looks super duper cool, but this is not the car you can drive daily. I'm sorry to say that. But every time you accelerate, you kind of forget the stiffness. You're like, okay, I'll keep up with the stiffness. Not a problem, because the driving feel is just so amazing of a Mini Cooper. Absolutely pinpoint, accurate. Feels so composed around the corner. So much grip, no body roll as such to speak of. And the steering wheel is such a delight. I mean, lane changes are absolutely stunning beyond measure. And then even the braking performance, everything pinpoint accurate. Lovely. Well done, Mini. Well done. Just see, the directional change is so freaking amazing. So as I see it, I mean, I'm pressing this button by mistake while turning. I didn't intend to do that, but that also happened. So the steering wheel of the older car was better. The older car looked better as well. That's kind of surprising and shocking, but yeah, I like the design of the older car way better than the new one, because it just felt so much more sportier in appearance. This one seems to be too mature and trying too hard to look cool, but that's not the case. Now, driving in the city, not a problem, because it's very maneuverable. In fact, this steering lock is also very small, so in 2.5 locks turns, you can completely turn around the car, like lock to lock. But the problem is that it attracts so much freaking attention now that you have to be careful of paparazzi around you rather than about turning the car as such. Now, like I was telling you, it's so easy to take a U-turn. Very, very easy. Very compact a car as such, so not an issue in that regard. And get on the throttle. Absolutely takes off. You know what? The reverse system is also pretty awesome, because these lights actually change when you're coming near an obstacle as well. So that's again a very cool bit about this Mini Cooper. But I honestly think it could have been much louder. It could have been more fun in that sense that they could have offered more power, because they've not upgraded the power with the facelift. I don't know why. They just like stuck on the same power outputs in such a long time. And technically this car is kind of old now. Where is the MK4 Mini BMW? Where is it? Okay, 20 years of Mini happening really soon. And that's something I'm waiting for. I want to see what is the next step. The problem is the next step happens to be electric, because that's where Mini is actually heading. Now, if you go really very hard and fast with this car, it's going to understeer naturally because it's front wheel driven, and it really loves to stock steer, wheel spin the nuts off, because there's so much oomph or rather torque going through the front wheels. It's not able to handle that at all. Although it doesn't feel VFM at all, which is kind of a paradox considering the original Mini was all about value for money, which this car is just not. As you can see, the road is almost getting burned out, so we are going to do one thing. We are going to be opening the roof of this car so that I can talk with a little bit of the wind in the air, which means I have to start shouting. There goes this thing down, and I'm going to actually put the windows up, otherwise there's going to be a lot of wind sound which is going to be coming from the side of this car. And although they've done a fantastic job in terms of the insulation, okay, this is going to roll up. In terms of insulation, they've done a good job of the roof. Unfortunately though, there's a lot of road noise which comes even with the roof up, and there you can't really see much as such. Now that burnout is less of an issue, revving the motor. I hope you guys can hear me. The problem is that there's no consistency in the way this car is able to launch. Sometimes it kind of bogs down. It doesn't wheel spin like I would expect it to. So for the most part, it's a fantastic car, very much fun to drive. But as unfortunate as it may sound, I can't really recommend it to you, because it's not practical at all, and it's very pricey as well. And then if you go to personalize it, it gets even more pricier. Still, it's one of the most affordable convertible cars you can buy in the country today. However, if you're looking to buy a Mini, just get the John Cooper Works, the 3-door, which is not the convertible, which is the proper hatchback with the proper roof as well, because that is offering real fun. It handles even better than this, it's faster than this, has great performance. It is expensive, but at least the price seems worth it there. The price just doesn't seem worth it here because of the CBU taxes, which obviously the John Cooper Works also encounters. But why has Mini stopped making cars in India? I mean, assembling cars in India, because that was the way forward. Unfortunately, the demand is really tepid for this car, considering it's a very niche sort of a vehicle. And then now again, sun is right in our face, but not an issue at all. You get a lot of airy feeling inside the cabin, and the best part of a convertible is that there is unlimited headroom. So even the tallest of people, including the great Khali, will not have an issue while driving this car, because his head can pop out from here, although he needs to wear a visor or a helmet to ensure that, you know, his hair doesn't fly off in that sense. Okay, the horn. I've already done a horn test, but somehow I just love the horn on this car, and the response is instant from the motor. You get on the throttle, it doesn't hesitate, although it doesn't rev very fast. That's kind of very surprising aspect about this car. Now in India, we obviously get an automatic gearbox. Globally, though, you get a manual. The manual would be even more fun. Somehow, I think Mini should focus on offering us an affordable version of the Cooper in India, which, like the Mini one, should be priced somewhere around rupees 30 lakhs. That would be something awesome, because that would take driving feel to almost more like the real car enthusiast, not for people who are just buying this car for showing off. And I love the wheel spin. It is so freaking awesome. I'm not too sure if you can see the instrument cluster, but when I was driving this car earlier today with the roof down, bright sun, couldn't really see what's here. So guys, this is my vlog on the Mini Cooper Convertible. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. That's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video. So, bye.